Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. First up, we've got woke activists turning basic biology into a guessing game.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself
Cis
whatever
men
you
don't
want.
menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body
if
menstruated at
if
some
your
point
chromosomes
then.
are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not men.
excluding a whole group of
They're
people here
women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we just looking at the science of this as an
The
example
science.
when we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely
They
different
are
things.
completely different.
Completely different words.
It's what you're born with, the reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that
things.
distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up.
They're claiming trans men menstruate like it's a revolutionary discovery. Chromosomes, facts, details, who cares? Every statement comes with a side of confusion and moral grandstanding. The louder they shout, the more reality politely waves goodbye. Woke people canceling logic, one absurd claim at a time. Next up, the woke panel is losing it over Vince Dow's Asians Succeed crash course.
Statistically, it is true that Asians, right, on average, make more money, better test scores, get into better colleges, all that stuff. I think the question is, why is that? And I don't know, model minority, whatever that label wants
That's
to mean.
actually a myth because we cannot be.
Well, no, listen. Well, let me finish my point. We need to observe what makes people successful and unsuccessful. And I think when you look at trends that are generally true in the Asian community, not of everyone, but are generally true, usually you have families that are sticking together. You have people are taught to work hard in school, not get into trouble. I think that translates to why Asians en masse are successful. And I don't think you have to be Asian or white for that matter to not have kids out of wedlock, not, commit crime, not cause trouble, or whatever it is. It's just a matter of common sense. That's what makes people successful. And if that's so-called assimilation, having a nuclear family, buying a house, going to school, whatever it is, then yeah, okay, call me a pro-assimilation then.
I think there's a difference between assimilation and erasure. Yes.
Purple-haired activist keeps shouting model minority is a myth, like repeating it makes it true. Another jumps in about assimilation versus erasure. Every reaction is louder than the last, full of moral outrage and confusion, proving once again that reality hitting woke people is a full contact sport. This time, Andrew Schultz is delivering a masterclass in verbal takedowns.
Holy sh**. He said what?
No, you're not listening.
Okay.
And it's starting to f***ing drive me crazy. I'm making the argument
that all black people are from Africa.
No.
You just said that.
African American is in some ways oppressive because it acts as if the black people that are in America aren't just Americans. They're from Africa. Why is it the white people just get to be American and then all these other people are Mexican American, Asian American, whatever?
They do say white American.
Oh my God, you're not listening again. The reason why it's oppressive is because white people just get to be American and everybody else gets to be this word American.
That's not what you were saying.
No, you look at my haircut and you're assuming racism, which is your prejudice because you're a racist.
Woke activists love twisting words until they choke on their own logic, and he hands it right back. The obsession with labels turns American into a contest of hyphens, and when pressed, their argument collapses faster than a Twitter apology. Schultz flips the script and leaves the activist holding the buzzwords with no punch behind them. This is what happens when woke arguments meet basic common sense.
Can you identify as a black person?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal,
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
She cannot explain why race is rooted in genetics, but gender is not, so the whole narrative short circuits. Watching her struggle is less a debate and more a live demonstration of why slogans collapse against reality. Here's the woke playbook in action. Package bad ideas as empowerment and hope no one notices.
The
woke, ridiculous ideas are marketed towards women. Full at any size, healthy at any size. Most of the vegans are women. It's okay not to have children. Like any little comment by you today, a girl will turn around and say, fat is beautiful. I'm embracing my body. Okay, self-love, self-care. Real self-care is eating right, going to the gym, taking care of your family, being a mother, if possible, contributing to the economic well-being of the house. All that is real self-care and family care. So I don't know why women are falling for all of this.
Healthy at any size sounds inspiring until you realize gravity is not accepting applications for body positivity. Real self-care is not hashtags and slogans. It is discipline, family, and responsibility. Once that truth lands, the woke script folds in seconds. Next up, cancel culture gets dressed up as justice, but collapses when logic enters the room.
Stereotypes used in comedic stand-up is just simply not okay anymore. So you can say whatever you want, but you need to also be ready for the repercussions of what you say.
Okay, you're not free to say whatever you want if you get fired for an off-color joke.
Okay,
How will you feel when it's you who's out of step with the social mores of the
and
day?
then you get the repercussions of what
I think you're still acting like this is something new, though. Now we're seeing an era where if you're disrespectful or bigoted towards someone, you get fired for that. I don't see that as a bad thing.
But I do think we've taken it a little bit too far, because in past generations, mental health, therapy, these things were stigmatized. But nowadays, it's almost so far to the other extreme that it can be trendy or cool or get you attention. That's when you know you're valorizing the wrong thing.
The panel insists free speech still exists, right up until someone gets fired for telling the wrong joke. That is not accountability, it is fear. And when the loudest defenders get pressed on consistency, they stumble, proving the whole Woke Fairness Act is just selective outrage. And now we have Alan West being asked the dumbest question of the night.
Do you identify as black? No, it's a serious question, because you might not identify. Can you please put the mic? Thank you. Okay.
When I walked into the room,
I am not done with my question.
Oh, young lady,
I'm just asking you to listen to me.
And I'm about to answer your first question.
But I didn't finish my question.
Okay. Yeah, I'm black.
A student demands to know if he identifies as black, as if that is some kind of gotcha. West just smiles, says yes, and the room cracks up while she keeps trying to talk over him. It is less a debate and more proof that outrage culture has officially run out of material. Next up, Senator Josh Hawley serving a lecture on woke double standard.
So you think it's fine to say to religious people that they are prohibited from gathering outside, wearing a mask, socially distanced. They can't do it. But if you want to come and protest, defund the police, if you want to support that, that's fine. You can gather in mass, person to person, close up, thousands of people. That's okay. That discrimination's okay. That's your position?
Senator, that is not my position.
It was your position. It's what you argued.
I did not write these orders. What I said.
You defended it in court. And you just articulated to me what I take to be your position. Why were the restrictions that you defended struck down as discriminatory? Why were they? You know the facts. You're a good lawyer. Why'd you lose?
Senator.
Oh, come on, Judge. Don't make me do this. Do you want me to go through it for you? You lost because Mayor Bowser was going to mass protests herself personally with thousands of people. At the same time she was doing that, she was prohibiting churches, religious people, from gathering socially distanced outside wearing masks.
He goes after Lauren Alicon for defending church shutdowns during COVID, while mass protests rolled on without a problem. Every time she tries to respond, he cuts her off and reminds her she already lost the case. Then he brings up the mayor marching in protest while churches stayed closed, sealing it as peak hypocrisy. Here come the college liberals who preach kindness like it is a contact sport.
She's had her culture stolen by white men like you, who have suppressed her mother homeland religion and her African roots by telling her the ethocentric view of Christianity she must accept to fit into your society.
Good. Now listen to her speak. Ma'am, have you accepted Jesus Christ into your life because white people have forced you or brainwashed your mom and dad?
No, it's clear. You can look at the Bible and see that he obviously doesn't agree with slavery.
Good.
And that slavery was taken out of context and twisted what the Bible said to fit something that was economically profitable at that time.
Does Shishan brainwash you?
not want to know about your ancestors and their time when they were in Africa. And I can tell you everything about my ancestors.
But I could do the research and tell you history about my ancestors as well. That's still not going to change.
That's a very good point.
Every word drips with love, delivered at full volume and sprinkled with profanity. The more they yell about compassion, the less of it he seems to have left. The calm guy did not even need to say much. Just standing there was enough to expose the meltdown. Next up, the brave storyteller of liberal TikTok, turning customer service into a civil rights movie.
Now let's hear from this ma'am with this stirring story, which I'm sure is 100% true.
I was at work and a customer called me sir, and I said, sir, actually it's ma'am. And then everyone around started clapping, and the guy who said it actually got arrested.
And then he was sentenced to death.
In their world, being called sir leads to instant arrest and thunderous applause from imaginary co-workers. It is activism by fan fiction, powered by delusion and dyed hair. The only thing more creative than the story is how confidently it is told. This time, another proud warrior of liberal academia trying to sound profound with borrowed Twitter takes.
That, overturn Roe v. Wade, rescinding the right to get an abortion back to the state, leading like
I think it should be state by state.
Victims of sexual abuse. Okay, why?
That's fine. I think if everyone in a state wants something, go ahead and have it.
So if everyone in Alabama wanted slavery back, you'd be okay with that?
Sure. If everyone in the state wants it, go ahead. What do I...
All right. Well, let's go next topic.
Well,
it's like these questions are so funny because these questions are so funny because they're meant to trap you.
I'm getting nervous.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
You understand that that was the same argument that the Confederacy upheld, right? So do you wish that the Confederacy won the war because according to your worldview, the Union impeded upon the state's ability to legislate?
No, but it's an irrelevant argument.
No, so you're glad that the Union won?
This is what I'm saying. All these things are, it's like you're phrasing it in a way where it's like, I could be like, yes, obviously no. Like, I'm not some like psychopath. Like, I live in LA. I'm not some crazy right-wing person.
So now you're saying it's psychotic to say that.
But if everyone in the state wants something, sure, let them have it.
Okay, so you agree with the Confederacy.
No one's voting to bring back slavery now. Oh,
so
cool,
I
10
just
crazy
want to
people in a
clarify.
state?
You agree with the Confederacy?
No.
But the Articles of the Confederation.
All right, we have to move on. We got limited time here.
These gotcha moments don't work on me. I'm not a... Like,
okay,
it's
Emily,
not
don't get upset.
Okay.
Don't get upset.
She drops states' rights and slavery like she's auditioning for a college debate trophy, but the logic collapses faster than her argument. The moment real questions hit, the confidence fades, and all that is left is another liberal caught tripping over her own moral script. Here's a guy in a green hoodie reminding us that America once lost its mind over cartoon candy.
There's just been a massive drama over these characters. Mars just cancelled their own cartoon characters. This is ridiculous, by the way, so hold tight. M&Ms have these mascots. They call them spokes candies. A little while ago, they changed the appearance of some of these. Brown M&M went from high heels to less high heels. Green M&M started wearing sneakers. Meanwhile, orange M&M had an anxiety attack. I mean, this is relatable. So what? Big deal, eh? Until Tucker Carlson on Fox News got wind of the story, then this happened.
Brown M&M has, quote, transitioned from high stilettos to lower block heels. Also less sexy. That's the goal. When you're totally turned off, we've achieved equity.
He was angry that the fictional characters on M&M packs were less sexy. I'm not going to kink shame anyone. If anyone gets turned on by anthropomorphized images of candy, that is totally your thing. That is fine. You do you, I'll do me. That's cool. It caused such an uproar that Mars then said they were going to cancel the spokes candies.
We've decided to take an infinite pause from the spokes candies.
Why? I mean, why? It's just some dude who's mildly offended by some cartoon characters, like, that are totally inoffensive, by the way. Whether we should use cartoon characters to sell food is another matter entirely, but all the time we are, I think the height of the heels on there is pretty irrelevant. Mars should have stood proud. However, there's a twist to this story. Fast forward and we find that Mars never actually did cancel the candies. They played us. Orange has now released a Spotify playlist for calming your anxiety, and yellow is now working with Snickers, which I think shows that M&Ms do have a better sense of humor than Tucker Carlson.
He runs through Tucker Carlson's meltdown about less sexy M&Ms, the fake news that Mars had canceled the spokes candies, and the big reveal that it was just a marketing stunt. In the end, the only thing that got exposed was how ridiculous outrage media can look when they take candy commercials seriously. And now Konstantin Kizin steps into the Oxford Union and takes woke culture head on.
I am so tired of talking about woke culture. No, free speech is not some right-wing reframing of whatever. It's the foundation of Western civilization. Upon this civilization is built. I don't have to make the point that has been made by far better people that the only way to deal with the problem of racism is to treat people on the content of their character and nothing else. And the fact that woke culture seeks to overturn that is a new form of racism that we must all oppose. I am not going to talk to those of you who already agree with me, which I imagine is most of you. I want to talk to those of you who are woke and who are open to rational argument. A small minority, I accept. Because one of the tenets of wokeness is, of course, that your feelings matter more than the truth. But I believe in you. I believe there are those of you here who are woke, who are open to rational argument, so let me make one.
He defends free speech as the foundation of Western civilization, calls out identity politics as a new form of racism, and challenges the woke belief that feelings matter more than truth. This isn't a rant, it's a reality check, and Keishan delivers it with the clarity that woke ideology can't withstand. Here again, Piers Morgan delivers the obituary no activist wanted to hear, with Andrew Tate sitting across like he just RSVP'd to the funeral.
Right. Andrew Tate, appreciate you coming back and uncensored. Thank you. No problem. Breaking news, woke is dead. The war on common sense is officially over. Cancelled celebrities are emerging from Twitter jail. Virtue signaling has been outlawed under punishment of mass ridicule. And we are finally free to call a spade a spade. So what was the cause of death?
Woke is dead hits harder than any headline because this time the tombstone is real. Virtue signaling buried, woke culture limping, and common sense finally crawling out of its coffin. Here we go again, another woke intellectual trying to redefine life like it is a debate club assignment.
Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies.
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus.
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
Nope.
That's actually a good question, but that line...
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it, because it's living. It's living.
Oh, wait a second, but I got something for her.
When does this clump of cells or fetus become living?
When it can sustain its own life.
But when is that? When is the sustainability? How do you sustain life? Like, my newborns aren't sustainable. You can't just have a newborn and they just like live on their own, right?
Right.
She throws out lines about potential babies, but the second Kay Hawkins presses her with simple questions, the whole argument collapses. The louder the cheers get, the weaker the logic sounds. And in the end, it is just empty slogans dressed up as deep thought. Next up, the word police try to trap Piers Morgan with labels nobody asked for.
What are you?
I'm a cisgendered man.
What does cis mean?
So that means if you were born a woman, and therefore you still identify as a woman, so you're a cisgendered woman, I would say.
And that's because of my physical femaleness.
You identify with how you were born
What am I?
originally. Well, I assume you're a cisgendered
I'm not
man,
a cis anything,
if
mate.
I may assume.
I'm not a cis anything. I'm just a man.
Well, no, but you're a cisgendered man.
No, I'm not a cisgendered anything.
But hang on.
What does cis mean?
Well, that means that you were born the way that you identify
No,
now.
I'm just born a man.
But someone who transitions.
Why are you
to be a
insisting
man-
on calling me something I'm not?
Well, you can refer to yourself as just a man if you like. But
Most people identify as male or female, man or woman.
that's right. The vast majority of people. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other people who identify differently.
There are 100
lots of other
different
identities.
genders on this BBC list, apparently.
The so-called gender expert throws out jargon like cisgender, hoping it sticks. But Piers does not bite, and the whole script crumbles. The more they insist on made-up categories, the more it sounds like satire. Woke logic folds the second it meets plain English. And here we go, another proud warrior of the woke brigade in full tears after getting canned.
Sent that video to corporate and got me fired. Thank you. And I know that everybody is gonna see this video too, and that's okay. I'm not gonna say anything wrong. Did I realize that what I was saying in that video was going to lead to this? No, I would have never done that.
The uniform's still on, but the job is gone, and suddenly the consequences feel very real. The best part, these same people cheer when others get canceled, but when the hammer lands on them, it is nothing but crying, shaking, and this isn't fair. Here we have the scholar of surface-level activism who believes shouting about systems is smarter than fixing them.
Why do you pick and choose certain protests and certain gatherings to go against?
Again, they all have a right to protest, to be
Yes,
clear.
yeah.
But if you're protesting something stupid, I'm going to criticize you. Like, how about this? Instead of protesting against systemic racism, why don't you go protest to put dads back in the home?
I think that's a pretty stupid.
It's
protest.
stupid to go put dads back in the home?
Yes.
Why? No, tell me. That's
Because
so
that's not like, I feel like to protest, it has to be something more systemic. The
Oh,
whole point
okay.
of
No,
a-
this is interesting.
the whole-
So instead of actually improving your life, you should go protest and
Dads
scream.
back in the home is a pretty individual issue, and that's not how you create change in a widespread audience.
Bingo. That's what makes conservatives different than leftists. Is that we think the true revolution should happen at home.
But that only affects you.
Exactly, because that's what you can control. What we have turned into is a country that worries far more about other people's problems than their own problems. Where has the emphasis been on stop doing certain behaviors that are obviously bad for you and therefore bad for society?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
To him, responsibility is oppression and logic is offensive. But when confronted with a little common sense, the grand theory of everything is systemic collapses faster than his argument. Another proud moment where feelings met facts and waved the white flag. Next up, the intellectual giants who swear America is the worst place on earth until someone offers them a free ticket to leave.
Is America the greatest country in the world?
No. Not.
If you were offered a one-way ticket to leave the country, never come back, but it's all expenses paid, would you accept that offer?
I don't think that I would leave. I wouldn't leave either.
Suddenly, the oppressed become very comfortable patriots. Turns out complaining about the country is much easier when you know you are never actually going anywhere. In this next clip, the campus intellectual thinks science changes depending on how loudly you express your feelings.
I have a personal question for you. Are your beliefs about abortion and life and conception, does that have anything to do with your personal religious beliefs? Your belief that life begins at conception, that is not shared by a lot of people. It's not shared by me. It's not shared by any of my friends. So I'm asking you, why should your moral belief be the end all be all and make the law and take away the right to a clean, safe abortion for women to have? And the fact that you can sit here and say that the rapist baby, the seed, or whatever you want to call it, the baby that's still in your belly and that it's not born yet, that you should be forced to have that, it's disgusting.
Your argument. It is not that it's not a human being or that's living, because that's flat out denying biology. We know it's living and we know it's a human being.
What else?
What you're arguing is that that child doesn't have the same right to life as his or her mother.
Can I ask my question
No,
now?
you can get behind the line. Back the
You
line.
can sit here and
you can
like
get in the
try
back
and
of the line.
create
She's been
this
waiting
argument
patiently.
In her world, biology is offensive and facts are just suggestions. She lectures about my truth until real logic walks in and ruins the mood. Nothing defeats a modern activist faster than reality spoken calmly. Now, we've got Lawrence Fox, who just roasted woke activists like a master chef.
People are looking to be upset because we're so affluent. They're going, well, you know, Martin Luther King did a great thing in the 60s and gets spat out and beaten as they cross the bridge in Selma. I want an activist cause. So what can we go for now? Well, we've done homosexuality, we've done race. Okay, let's reinvigorate race and then let's go for chopping dicks off young people. Social justice, man, get out there. Let's affirm these children.
He's pointing out that modern activism isn't about real struggle. It's about being offended for fun. Martin Luther King got spat on and beaten, and now we have people hunting causes like it's a hobby. Social justice, he says, affirms the kids and then drops the mic with, "It's bollocks." Even Barack Obama is handing out reality checks.
This idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. The world is messy. There are ambiguities.
Yep.
People who do really good stuff have flaws. People who you are fighting may love their kids. And, share certain things with you. And I think that one danger I see among young people, particularly on college campuses, Malia and I talk about this. Yara goes to school with my daughter. But I do get a sense sometimes now among certain young people, and this is accelerated by social media, there is this sense sometimes of the way of me making change is to be as judgmental as possible about other people. And that's enough. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself. Because man, you see how woke I was? I called you out. I'm gonna get on TV, watch my show, watch Grownish. That's not activism. That's not bringing about change. If all you're doing is casting stones, you're probably not going to get that far. That's easy to do.
On stage with Yara Shahidi, he tells the audience to quit pretending that tweeting outrage is the same as changing the world. He pokes fun at the "look how woke I am" performance, complete with a parody voice, and the crowd eats it up. When a former president has to remind people that moral grandstanding on social media is not activism, you know the participation trophy era has gone too far. Next, Piers Morgan is handing out reality checks.
We took LGB and then we added LGBTQIA+++, and then we included men who dress up like women and mock women. It's okay if you're proud of your sexuality, but why do I have to be proud of your sexuality?
Why are you so triggered by a flag?
I'll tell you
it's a
what
rainbow
problem.
flag.
I'm not triggered by a rainbow flag. I'm triggered by the fact that everywhere I go for a calendar month, everything has to be a rainbow flag.
Well, I'm triggered that everywhere I go for the entire year, everything has to be straight. Why is straight
Where's
everywhere?
my straight flag?
Why am I constantly going
Where
straight?
is my straight flag?
Why
When have you ever seen a straight flag? Where's my straight flag?
It's everywhere.
It's never been a straight flag.
Both of you are straight, and you're saying you're exhausted.
How do you know I'm straight? How dare you guess my sexuality?
Let's not play games here.
How many letters are there now in the
That's
official?
such a pointless question.
How many are there?
I don't even know.
How many are there?
I don't need
exactly
to know.
my point.
I don't need to know because it's not about
There
the
are so
letters.
many letters now, we can't keep up with it.
Defenders act like every flag, color, and plus sign deserves a parade, but even they cannot keep up with the letters. Demanding strangers be proud of your sexuality is not equality, it is ego with confetti. Pride Month turned into a pride monopoly, and the only ones cashing in are the professional victims. Here's the intellectual depth of woke activism. History starts and ends wherever feelings say so.
I don't think you can be sexist towards men, and I don't think you can be racist towards white people.
How have you arrived at that conclusion?
That's a good question. I don't know, just hearing like all the stories about like all this messed up stuff they did in the past. Like, I'm not even black, but I have a grudge against them.
Are you referring to slavery?
Yeah, and just like the treatment of them over time since then, like all the discrimination.
Do you think that white people were the only ones who engaged in slavery?
So wait, are you trying to like say that like white people were slaves too?
Yeah, white people were also slaves.
That's where the term slave comes from, is the Slavic region.
Exactly.
That's why Eastern Europeans are so oppressed even within Europe.
I don't know, but I didn't see them oppressed over here that much. Like, I don't know. In history, I don't see books talking about the oppression of white people.
Yeah,
Why do you think that is?
When the facts roll in, the logic cracks faster than a dollar store phone screen. Turns out oppression was not a single player game, but try telling that to someone who thinks hashtags count as homework. Now comes the equal pay meltdown.
Now, if they make it to the final, the girls will get $5,500 each. The blokes will get $69,000.
I can justify it.
How?
Let me ask you this. How many of you guys on the panel know who our Australian Matildas are playing in the quarterfinals? No, because you don't care about it. All of you can go and watch W League games in the women's competition here, but you don't. Now, when you start to go and watch these women play the wonderful football they do, then they'll earn more money. The Men's World Cup is one of the biggest money spinners on the planet. Women's football, even though at grassroots level it's working really, really well, it's got a long way to go. The top 10 fastest men of all time in terms of sprinters are all black, of African origin. Are you telling me that the white guy should say, hold on, we should be paid just as much as the black guys for sprinting? No, because they're not as fast.
The woke outrage machine wants World Cup money without World Cup crowds. They call it discrimination, but it is really math they cannot solve. Empty seats do not print prize checks, and hashtags do not sell tickets. Demanding the same pay without the same demand is not equality, it is entitlement in uniform. Next up, the queen of outrage, trying to score moral points by yelling about hypocrisy, only to get folded by one simple question.
Mark Rubio in Florida, not far from the Pulse nightclub, where 49 LGBT people were massacred, to an anti-gay organization event. So do not try to equate the mistake that was made by her campaign staff. And I agree with Tara, whoever was in charge of crowd last night should lose their job. And wait a minute. No. You can't ask me a question.
Because you can't answer the question.
Oh, you can't ask me a question, honey. I can't answer, so don't even try.
What attracted the father of the Orlando terrorist to your candidate?
He's a mentally ill individual who ran for president.
I get it.
Pardon me?
What attracted him to your candidate? And your answer was he's mentally ill.
His answer that... Stop smiling and smirking like it's a funny thing.
No, his mantra that... Stop smiling and smirking like it's a funny thing.
She storms in swinging, but when asked to explain her own side's mess, the logic vanishes faster than her composure. The calm conservative barely says a word, and suddenly the liberal is arguing with gravity itself. Nothing ends a lecture faster than facts delivered politely. Here comes a professional protester who claims she cannot stand to see or hear Charlie Kirk, yet somehow shows up just to see and hear Charlie Kirk.
What do you think of Charlie Kirk being here? I think he's an idiot. If you could say one thing to Charlie Kirk, what would it be? I wish that he would stop. Stop what? Everything. Just shut it down. Yes. Just not come to any campuses. Correct. I don't want to look at him. I don't want to hear about him ever again. Then why are you here? I was vaguely curious. Don't want to hear him, don't want to see him, but here to hear and see him.
She wants him to stop everything, but cannot even stop herself from attending his event. The interviewer asks one question, and her logic self-destructs. Here's a good one. A proud liberal dad who treats his son turning conservative like it is a family tragedy.
Hello guys, my name is Joey. I brought my father with me. He's a very liberal father.
Our family's divided. We're divided the same way the nation is divided.
I'm conservative, by the way.
Will anything ever be remedied? A nation divided against itself will not stand, neither will a family divided against itself.
Why do you think your son is conservative?
I have no clue. I'll let him answer that question.
That's a bad answer. Hold on a second. You as a father should listen to your son.
I listen to him all the time.
Hold on, but then you just said you don't know.
I don't know where he went so bad. I mean, come on. It's like, I don't know where he went wrong. I don't know how he went off the rails.
Would the smarter of the two like to chime in here?
Absolutely. So I used to be at one point on my father's side. Upon doing my own research and seeing things firsthand, I've switched sides. We talk every day about politics to the point where it's divided us. And so for him to say that he does not know where I stand is...
So let me ask you, do you think that maybe he wants to believe government will do good? Maybe that's...
Of course. Okay.
Now maybe your son is going more conservative because he thinks government hasn't done a lot of good. Is that maybe a fair charitable interpretation?
That makes relative sense.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Here's what I'll just say in closing, guys. Never let politics get in the way of the beautiful relationship between father and son. My advice first is for the son to the father, understand he comes from a different generational perspective. He thinks government is probably a good force. Now your son, understandably, is seeing it harder than ever to own a home. He's seen a border wide open. He's seen lies from politicians. He's seen the enrichment of the ruling class. And instead of interrupting and want to get in an edge, smartly be like, maybe my son is processing a way that I might not agree with, but he's growing up in a different circumstance than I ever.
He cannot explain why it happened, only that it must be wrong. Then logic enters the room, and suddenly the wise, open-minded parent has nothing left but confusion. Turns out, nothing tests progressive tolerance like raising a child who thinks for himself. Next up, Konstantin Kishin compares free speech in Russia to free speech in Britain, and somehow Britain comes out looking worse.
In Russia last year, 400 people were arrested for things that they said on social media. 400 people in Russia. Obviously, this country is very different. How many people do you think were arrested in Britain for things they said on social media last year?
Go on.
Take a guess.
I have no idea.
3,300.
Really? Arrested for what they'd said on social media?
Yeah.
Really? What sort of things get you
Well,
arrested?
one example I give in my show is there was a young woman from Liverpool called Chelsea Russell. Her friend was killed in a car crash, a 19-year-old woman. And she posted the lyrics of his favorite song on her Instagram. The lyrics. And there was a rap song, so the lyrics contained several instances of the N-word. Okay? She was arrested, prosecuted, found guilty, given 500 hours of community service and a fine, tagged, and for a year she was under 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. curfew.
My goodness.
In Britain.
In Britain.
In 2018.
He points out Russia arrested 400 people over posts, while Britain managed 3,300, including a woman punished for quoting rap lyrics online, community service, a fine, an ankle tag, and even a curfew, all for Instagram. The example leaves John Anderson staring like he just learned censorship now comes with paperwork. Next up, former Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong just gave woke culture a reality check.
In the West, they got a movement called Wokeness, where you are super sensitive about other people's issues and you become hypersensitive when other people somehow or other say things or mention things or refer to you without the respect which you or your super subgroup feel you are entitled to. It leads to very extreme attitudes and social norms, particularly in some academic institutions, universities. You talk about safe spaces, you talk about appropriate pronouns, you talk about how I'm about to say something which may be offensive to you. If you don't want to hear it, perhaps you'd like to leave now. And life becomes very burdensome. And I don't think we want to go in that direction. It does not make us a more resilient, cohesive society with a strong sense of solidarity. We must be more robust.
While others tiptoe around feelings, Lee called it out straight. Woke culture is turning life into a performance of sensitivities, safe spaces, endless pronouns, trigger warnings. He's not buying it. And why should he? A society obsessed with avoiding offense isn't stronger. It's fragile. Here we have liberal scholars who think morality is negotiable as long as it feels right.
So your argument again, what I was pointing to, you haven't actually responded to yet, is that you were saying because it's not a fully developed human, we can kill it. So I'm saying to you, and you haven't responded yet,
what?
How about the 8-year-old child, 5-year-old child, or 12-month-old child? Can we kill them? They're not fully developed.
It's fully viable outside of a human body and doesn't need a human body to take care of it and fully nurture it. So very clearly different things that you're trying to equate, but they're not the same.
I can promise you this. My daughters, they're twins. Nora and Piper are fully dependent upon me to care for them.
Are they inside a human body that is being fed
so you're
by
arguing
its blood
now
flow?
location.
Yeah, is it? No, is it?
Your argument now is different. It's not development, it's where it's located. So your argument is we can kill humans.
Age of development, you don't longer have to sustain off another person.
Okay.
If your child was kicked out to the street, somebody would take them in, and they don't need your. They are not dependent on your human biological. If you die, your kid can survive.
I promise you that my twin girls, they're fully dependent upon us.
For them, ethics bend to personal opinion and logic is just a suggestion. She rants about fairness and justice until a simple question hits, exposing every contradiction. Suddenly, all her careful indignation evaporates, and the smug activists meet the cold, hard wall of reality. Next up, a self-proclaimed expert on systemic everything, trying to educate Charlie Kirk about racism.
LBJ was a racist. He's an old white man.
Are all white people racist?
I would say that I think white people have an implicit bias.
Do you understand how racist it is to think that all white people are racist?
We don't experience.
She tries to rewrite history with feelings until Charlie Kirk calmly steps in and asks one simple question that flips her logic upside down. His composure does more damage than any argument could. Nothing silences a liberal lecture faster than reason spoken without rage. Here we have the street genius who just shattered an entire gender studies seminar in a few seconds.
Would you rather date a liberal or an illegal immigrant?
Illegal immigrant. They're gonna listen.
Why do you say that?
Because they don't listen, they get out the country. So yeah, the legal immigrant, she gonna cook, she gonna clean. Man, yeah, give me one right now. Yes, yes. The liberal woman ain't gonna wanna listen. They hard-headed. I don't know, man, illegal immigrant any day.
He did not hesitate. He chose peace of mind. While liberal women are busy debating oppression, this man is choosing sanity, a rare display of wisdom in a world allergic to logic. Next up, Ricky Gervais cuts straight through the nonsense.
How arrogant are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like? I want people to stop saying that joke's offensive.
Yeah.
I want them to start saying I found it offensive, because that's all it is. You're just telling me how you feel about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing intrinsically offensive about this joke. It's trying to make I'm offended sound important.
Yeah.
It's no different to saying I've got a pain in my leg.
Yeah.
Right, I believe you.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to do with me. But then they go, yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you don't like don't change the feelings.
Yeah.
You don't have to pave the jungle.
Yeah.
You can just grow a pair and have a laugh about it.
Woke crusaders treat offense like it is the Constitution, but Ricky shreds the idea in seconds. Offense is not a fact, it is just a feeling. Shouting that's offensive does not make the world stop spinning. If a joke crushes your ego, maybe the problem is not the joke. Now we have Kanye West torching woke culture.
Wake up, Mr. West, wake up, culture. Wake up. Everybody think they so woke, but they following the rules of what woke's supposed to be. Hip hop ain't never been about following rules. It's been about doing what you feel. I'm gonna take the Louis, I'm gonna throw it like this, I'm gonna do it with the polo, I'm gonna do it like this. Even like the way I talk. Hold on, let me use my African American voice. Let me use my Disney approved voice. You know what I'm saying? We're not even speaking in our own language, bro.
These so-called rebels are busy memorizing a script, swapping their own voices for a Disney-approved accent. They call it authenticity, but it is really just stage acting for clout. Hip-hop was never about reading lines off a script. It was about ripping the script up and speaking how you want. Next up, Matt Rife is lighting up the cancel crowd.
I just mean, like, I'm not one of those people who tries so hard to like prove how woke, what a good person I am.
And Matt handed the Woke Watch a wake-up call.
As long as you know your heart's in the right place, you're doing the best that you can. You know, you don't need to prove yourself on Twitter every day. And obviously, I'm referencing the extremes, these like woke internet warriors or whatever you want to call them, these losers who spend their whole life trying to cancel people on the internet. That pisses me off so much because they're ruining a good agenda.
The man calls out the keyboard saints who waste their lives proving how virtuous they are on Twitter. Woke warriors think retweets make them moral leaders, but really they are just unpaid hall monitors of the internet. Nothing says good person quite like ruining nights from your mom's basement. Woke culture loves the victim card, but sometimes reality checks arrive with the calmest voice in the room.
Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't or
Today?
cannot? Yeah.
No, you don't. No, I don't. You and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that. It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for that.
Morgan Freeman drops a simple truth that shatters the whole pity party industry. If success is blocked only in your head, hashtags and excuses will not save you. The moment self-responsibility shows up, the woke narrative falls apart like wet cardboard. Here comes the liberal activist who thinks oppression is a full-time job.
I think at the end of the day, white people are more privileged. Well, in many ways, you don't have to worry about driving when black. Look at how many black men have been by the police for doing absolutely nothing.
What situation are you referring to?
Can you give
George
us
Floyd
a
is
couple?
one.
He was doing absolutely nothing?
Not enough to get
He was high.
So?
That's what him.
The autopsy actually says he overdosed, yes.
Yeah, he was screaming, "I can't breathe," before they even put him on the ground.
I don't know, I didn't watch the video.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's the whole.
I mean, that's really, you really should, because the reason.
And this is not a dig at you at all, I promise. I feel like that's the biggest problem with everything. People are not willing to do the deep dives and really check their sources of where they're getting the information.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, back in the day, before there were programs like welfare and Medicaid and all that other stuff, black people did do better because they had more of a drive to. It's just about people. If you're going to always give people an out, then the wrong people are going to take it. And it's not saying that black people are the wrong people. Don't ever take it that way. It can be who's really willing to do the work. And in today's day and age, not many people are.
In her universe, every white person is born with a cheat code and every statistic is negotiable. She lectures about systemic privilege until someone casually drops actual facts. Suddenly, all that moral outrage looks more like a poorly rehearsed monologue. Reality has a way of showing up uninvited. Next up, this liberal thinks victim points are transferable like frequent flyer miles.
A woke white girl tries to tell a black girl that she's really a victim and, well, she isn't exactly having it.
She's had her culture stolen by white men like you, who have suppressed her mother homeland religion and her African roots by telling her the ethocentric view of Christianity she must accept to fit into your society.
Good. Now listen to her speak. Ma'am, have you accepted Jesus Christ into your life because white people have forced you or brainwashed your mom and dad?
No, it's clear. You can look at the Bible and see that the opposite doesn't agree with slavery.
Good.
And that slavery was taken out of context and twisted what the Bible said to fit something that was economically profitable at that time.
Does she sound brainwashed to you?
I want to know about your ancestors and their time when they were in Africa. And I can tell you everything about my ancestors.
But I could do the research and tell you history about my ancestors as well. That's not going to change the truth of Christ.
That's a very good point.
How embarrassing. Make sure you leave a like on this video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below for more daily news.
She claims oppression comes pre-packaged with your skin color and lectures about stolen culture like it's a group project she's leading. Meanwhile, reality strolls in quietly, and suddenly her complicated web of grievances collapses under actual logic. Here we have the campus crusader who thinks you cannot talk about basketball unless you can dunk.
Why are you talking about our women's basketball team? Because you don't know how to play basketball.
That's your argument?
And why are you talking about women with people with disabilities? Because most people with disabilities have sports with issues. So why are you talking about that? So what's your problem?
So what's your main grievance? Is it about women's sports and basketball or disabilities?
Both.
Okay, well, for the basketball thing,
Wait,
women...
let me finish talking. So what about you? What's your disability? Do you have any disabilities?
I have a high tolerance for stupid people talking to me. I'd say that's
not
a
no disability, sir, because you're racist. Thank you very much.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Ask a bunch of questions and walk away. Makes sense.
She moves from sports to disabilities to racism in under 30 seconds, like she is speed running Oppression Olympics. Then comes her big finish, calling the guy racist for existing. He stays calm, she storms off, and her argument collapses right behind her. Now we have Jerry Seinfeld, who is not interested in turning comedy into a census report.
I have noticed that most of the guests are mostly white males. Of 22 episodes that you've had.
Yeah, let's get into that.
No, but you
take a look over here, Peter. What do you see? A lot of whiteys. What's going on here? Oh, this really pisses me off. But go ahead. Really pisses me off. People think it's the census or something. I mean, this has got to represent the actual pie chart of America. Who cares? It's just funny. You know, funny is the world that I live in. You're funny, I'm interested. You're not funny, I'm not interested. Okay. And I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that, but everyone else is kind of with their little calculating, is this the exact right mix? You know, I think that's, to me, it's anti-comedy.
When asked why his guests are mostly white men, he fires back with a joke about the sea of whiteys in the crowd. Then he cuts straight to the point, saying the only qualification that matters is being funny. For him, race quotas are not progress. They are the opposite of comedy, and the audience cannot stop laughing. Next up, Bill Maher is reminding his own team that losing with moral superiority is still losing.
What good is liberalism if you don't win elections? Last week, Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton said, "I have 2 little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a formerly male athlete. But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that." Yes, there's the problem in a nutshell. Because Congressman Moulton sounds reasonable to me, but his campaign manager immediately resigned in protest. Let me make this as plain as I can to the smart people. The campaign manager who resigned, yeah, let that person go. Marginalize that guy. Try making too woke be a cancelable offense.
He points out that Democrats keep tripping over their own purity tests, this time with a campaign manager storming off over a comment about transgender athletes. Maher shrugs it off and says the real problem is letting the too woke crowd steer the bus. According to him, if anything deserves to be canceled, it is the obsession with being performatively woke. And that's a wrap on today's dose of woke meltdowns. From furious rants to job losses and public flops, it turns out logic and accountability don't care about hashtags. The irony is delicious, and the lessons are free for anyone willing to watch. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next round of UnWoke truths is always just around the corner.